Okay, guys, let's talk about special triangles. We got 30, 60, 90, and those look something like the following. A couple things to note about triangles. These angles all add up to 180 every time. So this is 90. And then let's say this one's 60. Then 90 plus 60 is 150. And so the remaining one must be 30. And so that whenever you have a 90 and a 60, you're going to have a 30 as the missing one. Or if you have a 90 and a 30, the other one will be 60. And so just kind of look at the angles and remember they add up to 180 every time in a triangle. Okay. Now, with that being said, if we have the short leg, okay, the short leg is always across from the 30. The long leg is always across from the 60, and then the hypotenuse is always across from the right angle, like always, like we said earlier. Okay. Now, how this works, if the short leg is equal to x, then the long leg is equal to x times the square root of 3, and the hypotenuse is 2 times x. Okay, so the short leg is x, then the hypotenuse is 2 times x, and the long leg is the square root of 3. There is a proof to do that, but I'm not going to show you that. It's not really necessary for this. Okay, so with that being said, let's solve these two problems real quick, and we'll go through and figure out what these side lengths are. So, to do this, we have the following. We have this triangle. This is 3, this is x, this is y, this is 60. And so we must identify the short leg, the long leg, and the hypotenuse. Well, this is across from the right angle, so this is h. Okay, this is 60, so across here is the long leg, so this is the long leg, and this is the short leg. Okay, so let's figure out what y is and what x is. Well, we have a relationship. The hypotenuse is equal to 2 times the short leg, right? Because we said the short leg here was x. So the hypotenuse, 3, is equal to 2 times the short leg, which we don't know what it is. We'll call that x, or we'll leave it SL for short leg. We divide by 2, 3 halves is equal to the short leg. So then this is the short leg. Y is equal to 3 halves. Okay. Next, we know the short leg times the square root of 3 is equal to the long leg. We know that because of the relationship up here. Okay. So if we have 3 times the square root of 3 over 2, this is the long leg, which is equal to x. So your x is this, and your y is that. Okay, and those are good to go. Let's try another one. We're doing 10. We've got the following. This one's y, this one's x, this one's 9 halves. This is the right angle, this is 60. Okay, so this is the hypotenuse. We need to identify those every time. This must be the long leg, and this is obviously the short leg. So remember the hypotenuse is the short leg times 2. H equals the short leg times 2. So H is equal to 9 halves times 2. Cancel, cancel. H is equal to 9. Okay, so that is your Y. Okay, and then the long leg is equal to the short leg times the square root of 3, which is 9 halves times the square root of 3, which is, don't forget the long leg is y. Y is equal to the 9 over 3, which is 9 square root 3 over 2, and that will be your solution for that one. I'm sorry, that's not x. I wrote y twice. Which one is it? This is y, this is x. Sorry. This one's x. I apologize if that confused you. This is x, this is y. I apologize. I wrote the same thing twice on accident. I wrote y twice. Okay, so this one's 9. Y is equal to that. And x is equal to that. Okay, now, for the remaining one, we have 45, 45, 90. These are isosceles triangles. This is 45. This will also be 45 because remember 45 and 45 is 90. 90 plus 90 is 180. So the inside added up to 180. Okay, the hypotenuse is this one. we call this, I'll give you the formula. These ones are going to be x and x, the same size, and then the hypotenuse will be x times the square root of 2. This one's easily obtained by the fact that if you do a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. In this case, x is a, x squared plus x squared is equal to c squared. So 2x squared is equal to c squared. So we can take the square root. So we have the square root of 2 times x is equal to c. Okay, and so you can see that that is just x square root 2 is equal to c. I've just switched the order of these, and that's exactly what this is. All right, so let's do this real quick. We have problem 17. We have 45, 3yx. This must be 45. So this is the hypotenuse. Okay, and so we don't know either of the short legs or the x's. So how we can do this, we know that the hypotenuse is equal to x square root 2. Well, 3 is equal to x square root 2. And so if we want to find x, that's this x actually, then we just divide by square root of 2. And we have 3 square root 2 is equal to x. Well, we'll rationalize the denominator times the square root of 2 times the square root of 2. This is 3 square root 2 over 2 is equal to x. Now the nice thing about this is if this is 3 square root 2 over 2, so is this one. So this is also equal to y because this is a 45, 45, 90. And so we have x equals y equals 3 square root 2 over 2. Okay, and then for the last one, we have 18 x, y, 45, 45, 90, and this is 5. This is the hypotenuse. We identified that, so h equals x square root 2. We know h is 5. 5 is equal to x square root 2 divided by square root 2. 5 over square root 2 is equal to x times the square root of 2 times the square root of 2. 5 square root 2 over 2 is equal to x is equal to y. Just in case you don't know why the square root of 2, this is equal to 2, it's because the square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is equal to the square root of 4, which is just 2. Okay, and so that would be your solution for that one. So that means this side is 5 square root 2 over 2, 5 square root 2 over 2. And in case you don't believe it, I'll do it real quick with the Pythagorean theorem. So if we do 5 square root 2 over 2 plus 5 square root 2 over 2 squared is equal to 5 squared. This is c, this is b, this is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. If I square this, I get 25. Square root of 2 squared is times 2 divided by 2. And then I get, oops, not divided by 2, divided by 4. We have to square everything, so we're going to square this and this. So this is plus 5 squared, which is 25. Square root of 2 squared is 2, and then 2 squared is 4. 25, we're just checking our work. We don't actually have to do this. So this is 2, 1, 2, 1, oops, nope, 2, 1. So 25 over 2 plus 25 over 2 is equal to 25, and so this is 50 over 2 is equal to 25, or 25 is equal to 25. And so you can see that this actually does work. This is the actual solution, and therefore that would be your answer for this, and we can make sure that that formula is actually working well. I hope this makes sense, guys. Make sure you practice these and the ones before for the other sections. Take care and have a good day.